Hi everyone, this is Victoria and I'm here with your new moon reading. We have new moon in Scorpio coming at us fast. For my time zone, it's going to be on the 20th of November. I realize now that I'm saying this, as for most of you, it will be 20th as well, because a lot of you are actually ahead of me. If you're in Europe or Asia, if you are somewhere to the west, Pacific time zone and the like, it might be the 19th, but it will be just like at the very end of the 19th. So up to you. I am posting this a little bit in advance so that you have time to get your message and to figure out what you want to do with it, how you want to interpret it. And by the way, one of the reasons that I'm doing this and this readings could be useful, not just for me, of course, is for you to understand what do you want to manifest, what do you want to cleanse for the new moon. Since we are talking about a new moon, it's important to set intentions for what do you want to achieve in your next cycle, in your next, whatever your big goal is, let's put it that way, right? Like, what is your focus and why? The different aspects of it, right? It helps you steer your focus in the right direction. Because it's a new moon in Scorpio, this is spicy energy, right? And because Scorpio is connected to the energy of death in tarot, a lot of times people kind of standoffish towards it, which is understandable. But remember that death is actually, the full name of it is death and rebirth, right? It's the transformation process, right? It could be an extreme transformation. Think extreme makeover show, right? But it doesn't have to be, like, it doesn't always show on you like that, it doesn't mean necessarily that, your life is upended. It can be an internal transformation where it's your perception that's changed forever, where it's your values that have changed, where, I don't know, your relationship with God has changed forever, right? It can be something like that. That doesn't necessarily change your life on the surface in an instant, but it changes something important within you, and that of course will then have a ripple effect and will cause a lot of other changes in your life, thus transforming you and transforming your life. So maybe there's already some kind of area of your life where you feel like you can use that kind of transformation. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad, but maybe it's been stale, maybe it needs some refreshment. By the way, if you're hearing noises in the background, the dog has decided to nibble on her food, so I apologize for that, but it shouldn't last very long. She's usually quick with her dinner. So what we'll do is I'll pull, as always, well, actually I'll do two themes today, not to spread us out to theme, because then I'm gonna go and give you more specific messages with tarot for each individual sign. And yes, we will start with Scorpio, since we are talking about new moon in Scorpio, in Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Scorpios, by the way. All November readings are out, so please check those out if you haven't done so yet. These readings are also for, just like any of my horoscopes, are for sun, moon, and rising. If you only have time for one message, and there will be timestamps so you can quickly jump to the right sign, please read the message for your moon sign. That's my recommendation. But if you have time for the three, do the three. These days, my favorite to read is the rising sign, the message for the rising sign. But, depends. Okay, so two themes that we're supposed to be aware of for this new moon in Scorpio. Theme number one. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new, welcome, and please subscribe to the channel. And of course, take a look at the description box for my content and services. So we have movement, which kind of has something to do with transformation, right? And I know it can seem a little far-fetched unless you're actually moving like miles, like maybe you're literally moving, right, to another location, you're relocating. But if you think about it, even if movement is first and foremost associated with dance. Think about that for a moment. Let's unpack. Just to give you an example, right? then seems like you're kind of moving around, but you're still kind of at the same spot, right? So what is the transformation? But it does transform your energy. It does move the energy within you, and it brings you to a new frequency, especially, of course, if you enjoy it, if you're into that. It elates you, it gives you insights, it can be your creative expression, and more than anything, it like physically moves around energy within you, and it creates something new and exciting for you that you haven't seen before. So movement is good. Read it as transformation is also good. Maybe you just don't have all the information yet, but it's important to have that faith. Oh my God, the second card, so this is 28, this is 23, Golden Palace. This is one of the best cards in this deck by, not necessarily in art. I'm not sure that I'm crazy about this art, but in its meaning for sure, because Golden Palace is and look at it. Noticing the new moon here? Hello, baby. Reminding us that although Scorpio is a water sign, it's about emotions, it's about a little bit about risk-taking, a little bit about holding grudges. I mean, that's what it is, right? But we shouldn't forget about the practical side, the abundance, and what we're building in 3D space, right? And the Golden Palace basically saying at this moment, any of your dreams in 3D can come true. Whatever you have you have dreamt for yourself in terms of money, success, is it a place to live? Is it a certain income that you want to have? There is an opportunity for that to come true at this time, right? It all again depends on your manifesting journey, right? Where you are and how much do you actually believe in it. Like there are so many aspects of manifestation process, and I've spoken about it a lot already. You can find my podcast on manifestation in the description box. There's a link, and you can just search by name. I have spoken about it a lot, but a lot of it has to do with coherence between what you think you want and what you you want, and then what do you actually do for it, right? Like what kind of actions do you take? And second, of course, is, I don't want to say believe in, because it's more than that, but it's taking aligned action with that identity that you want to be in, right? Less thinking about the bank account, the money signs, the Golden Palace, but more about how do I want to feel and why. Or if I want to live in a Golden Palace, for instance, okay, fine, why? What is it about it, right? So dig deeper to see what is it actually going to give you, what kind of reward, what kind of satisfaction, hopefully more than just satisfaction. And you can see how you can maybe dissociate from a specific Golden Palace view, right? And think wider. Or at least have that acknowledgement why it's important to you, if you're definitely fixated on the Golden Palace. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now we will start with Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know for this new moon in Scorpio? Queen of Wands, clarified by Seven of Pentacles and Two of Cups. Oh my God. Be very clear with what you want to manifest, Scorpio, because you are in power. You are kind of like piping this beautiful energy that it's almost like be careful what you wish for moment, right? Is it the love of your life that you're manifesting, or a soulmate? That could be, of course, a friend, a mentor, somebody who would get you, who would be in sync with you very much. Are you manifesting some kind of new project and starting something new, maybe even a hobby or travel, right? Whatever it is, be more specific than just, I want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? Imagine that you can have anything. What is it that you want? Be that queen of manifestation at this time, and be unapologetic about it. Like it's time to dream and to think big, baby. Okay, for Sagittarius, it's an express messaging today. Look at that. You saw me shuffling, Seven of Pentacles. But I mean, it is new moon, so why am I surprised? Eight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's definitely support for you for what is it that you want to build. But it may also mean that you'll have to free up space first, which may be a bummer. I'm hearing some of you could be hoarders, so just difficult to make changes in habits and lifestyle. But this may require this new project that you are trying to plant seeds for, whether it's literally or figuratively. You may need to say goodbye to something or someone else, right? To free up that space. Or there could be something or someone in your life that just doesn't resonate with this. So there will be a distortion, or you won't be able to attract this new, whatever, project, initiative, person, until you say goodbye to something old that doesn't resonate on that vibration anymore. All right. Next, we go to Capricorn. Five of Wands, okay, a little different, clarified by the Star and the Moon. Wow, huge energies. So you may feel a lot of tension and push, all right? And you may feel like other people are giving you advice and want you to go in a certain direction, but the universe and your soul is telling you something entirely different. And it doesn't make as much sense, maybe even as what they are suggesting, but deep down you know that what they are saying doesn't suit you. Like, this is, like, you're supposed to go like wider and expand your understanding, your energy, and, you know, seek for something that maybe you don't know about yet, right? It's a little tricky when you're asked to look for something and you don't know what it is exactly, right? But it's like, I need to find myself, I need to find my purpose, I need to find my connection with my higher power, you know, wherever that may lead you to, right? It has so much value, and don't listen to anyone who tell you otherwise. It's key, it's very important, and of course it's up to you whether you're gonna go with the advice that people give you or that voice in your head that comes from friends and family, right? To do the right thing, quote unquote, right? And then you'll repeat the karmic cycle. Or you can go for something unknown, but of course you'll need to be brave for that, because that's part of being in the unknown. Okay, next we move to Aquarius. Aquarius, you've got the Emperor, clarified by Nine of Swords and Nine of Pentacles. I love it, actually. So the Emperor is reminding you that you are in charge of your life, right? And maybe even in charge of other people in your life. But you should be driven by that intricate quality that you have in you, that magic, you know, that knowledge and reassurance that you bring to the table that makes everybody's day better, at least their day better immediately, and not be thinking too much of, you know, is this the right choice for me? What am I getting out of it? Am I wasting my time? Do people even get it? Right? It's important not to get too overwhelmed, not to stress too much on, like, is that good enough? Do they expect something else? Right? Go with what your heart tells you, right? It's a lot of your innate leadership qualities and authority that you have that get people to really hear your message and understand it and follow it through even. Yes, it's also a lot of responsibility, but don't let the responsibility kill the magic, right? Or, you know, kill that creative pursuit, basically, because for a lot of you that it could be connected. One is connected to the other. Next, Pisces. Excuse me. Three of Cups, Nine of Wands, the Moon again. Okay, so Pisces, there are definitely people around you who want to help you, who want to help you get grounded and overcome your fears to finally get to the result that you want. Pisces tend to, you're another water sign, this new moon is in water sign, tend to kind of like not have boundaries and bounds, right? And sometimes it's great because it's about the bigger vision, it's about connection to other realms, but like bigger picture vision kind of idea. But it's also, it could be hard to be perseverant or disciplined, or keep your focus, right? Like on specific things that you want to achieve today, tomorrow, this week, this month, right? And there are people around you who can help you with that. You don't have to struggle, don't have to do it alone. Find people who will make it fun for you, who will be supportive in a good way, not making you feel guilty for not sticking to the plan, for example, but, you know, finding ways to make it fun and interactive, right? And maybe it could be an equation where 2 + 2 = 5, you know, where you together can actually create, I don't even know why I said 2 + 2, maybe 1 + 1 = 3. It doesn't matter if it's one person or several, by the way. Together you can accomplish so much more than you could ever imagine in that area that you are working on that's important to you, right? There's certain fear from past experience of like how it may or may not work out, how you might be the reason that it doesn't work out, it's just not for you, or you're not for this, you're not cut out for this. But this moon, this new moon, is actually bringing that to the surface so that you can see how you can work with it, not against it, but with it. Make it your superpower, whatever you thought was your weakness before. And it's a collective reading, so I can't go too much into details, but you get the point. All right, Aries. 5 of Cups. Look how many 5s we have. Speaking of transformation, right? 5 is about change. 4 of Cups. And the King of Wands now. Yeah, so you may still be crying over spilled milk. You may be thinking, oh my God, I let that person go. Oh my God, I said no to that work opportunity and now it's not going to happen to me ever again. Or maybe, you know, I had an argument with that person and it put a block on my, or further in my career in this company, or something of that kind. But the point is that it's supposed to show you, it's supposed to divert your attention to something more important, to something bigger and better, possibly to a new person if it's a personal life. If it's professional, there could be someone who will show you new opportunities that you didn't even have on your radar, right? Like that specific past that where you feel like you failed wasn't for you in the first place. And now it's important to leave it behind, not to dwell in the past, but actually set intentions for this new future cycle. Even if it's still a little vague, you don't have to know all the details up front. But at least try to go in and ask those good questions on like, what is it that you actually want and why? Be open-minded about the answers that the universe will bring to you. Taurus, you've got 7 of Pentacles. Where have I seen that card before? 2 of Swords, 6 of Cups. Interesting. So you want this new endeavor, new project, a new opportunity to be fun for you, to also somehow fulfill a childhood dream or childhood fantasy or some kind of needs that weren't met in childhood. But you're also afraid that this is not a good enough reason to pursue it, or, you know, it's never going to happen because there's also that subconscious fear from childhood because that wasn't met then. Why would it be met now, right? It is subconscious, so you may not fully realize that's what it is. That's what's preventing for this to come through for you. But my quick suggestion is see if you can play with the energy of, play with the energy of play. If you can make the environment for yourself a little more playful, maybe not necessarily towards this opportunity, but generally in your life. Maybe you'll find time to play with younger kids, relatives, your own kids, and really engage into that game time. Maybe you'll do something artistic with anything, you know. Think kids, it doesn't have to be the same thing that kids do, but, you know, buy some stationery, some paints, I don't know, some can create a scrapbook. That could be even that, you know, like anything you can think of, even modeling clay, whatever floats your boat, right? And do it just for yourself, not because it has a purpose behind it. We as Tauruses like for things to be practical, to make sense, and to be important, especially when we are overwhelmed with a lot of stuff going on. But I promise you that this is going to be totally worth it, and it will change your vibration and steer you towards saying yes to those opportunities that are fun and that fulfill those childhood needs. Next, Gemini. For Gemini, we have the Page of Cups, clarified by Two of Cups, and Tower. Wow. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a change. I mean, Tower is another one of those like big explosion / changes cards, right? But it's interesting because this Page of Cups in this deck is about, you know, when pigs can fly kind of idea. You see, there's a pig flying. There is a, well, it's a cup, but it's kind of like a pot of gold. So the whole concept of this Page of Cups is being dreamy and imagine that anything is possible, right? And that's your main card. It's very important to stick with that because there will be something that you will gain, you know, some kind of important connection, some person that they may be new, they may be somebody you know, but you will confirm for yourself how important this person is for you and how transformative their energy is when you are together. And you will also lose something, right? But it's important to see it in a little bit of a playful vibe, and if anything, to continue iterating and, you know, what your next thing is, what your dream is, and, you know, be a little more easygoing about it, right? This change could feel quite dramatic in the moment, and it may even distract you from the joy of this connection, but just take it easy, you know, take it easy on yourself more than anything else, right? Go through those emotions, accept what it is, and then move forward in a renewed energy, looking optimistically into the future. Next we have Cancer, and then there will be Leo, Virgo, Libra. So Cancer, you have the Tower, clarified by the Hanged Man. Look at this major arcanus, and Ace of Wands. Wow, this is pretty massive. So it was definitely gonna be, for you, the transformation is in understanding that you can't go on the same way that you did. Something is gone and never gonna be back. And again, it may feel dramatic in the moment, especially for a water sign. But it's important because it gives you perspective that you didn't have before, why this wasn't a good fit anyway. And it's almost like, you know, you were a little bit narrow-minded in that specific area. You felt like, because it was a comfort zone, it felt like it was good. But now that you open your eyes, you know, you raise your head and you start looking around, you see that that was not good at all. Like, that was such a low bar. And yeah, it's good that it fell away. It opens you up to new passion, some kind of new inspiration for something maybe completely different that what you saw, for example, was your type of a person or the career that you wanted to build, right? So again, massive change, but it opens up your eyes to a reality of what really matters, what is important for you at this point in your life. So it's fine that that thing, whatever fell off, it was important at a certain moment in the past. Accept it. There's nothing wrong with that. But we change, our energy changes, and what fits for us, you know, what surprises for us and what we want changes. So maybe you've already outgrown that thing. Next we go to Leo. 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords. Wow. 7 of Wands. Oh, Leo, you'll have to face your situation with all the honesty that you can have, right? You've been burning the candle on both ends. You've been trying to make it all work together. And this is a point to understand that maybe it just wasn't meant to be. We like to be right. We like to know that, you know, we can fix, we can handle whatever we're given. But it's not always the goal, and it's not always the way to go, right? So you will need to be very honest in understanding where it's your space, what is important to you, and, you know, to your heart, to what you're passionate about, what you want to keep and grow and nourish, and what do you want to get rid of because it's actually quite toxic, right? Or you just don't really know what's going on behind closed doors. If it's for, it could be about the relationship, could be about a job too, right? Maybe somebody is bad mouthing you behind your back and you just didn't know about it, right? So now it's like, it's possible that you may have to say no to that thing first, and then you'll find out based on your intuitive feeling. And then you'll find out all the secrets are going to come out of like what was going on there. And you're like, oh my God. And why was I even considering, do I do it or not? Do I leave or do I stay? Like, wow. Okay. Next, Virgo. What do we have for Virgo? Three of Pentacles, clarified by Eight of Cups, and Two of Wands. Ooh, interesting. So the dream team is coming together. Whatever, either you're meeting people to finally work on the project that you've been putting off for a while because you didn't have the right people on your team, or the team has been around, but you didn't know what would be an exciting adventure for all of you together, right? And now the project and the team are coming together. It's important though to keep in mind that there is a reason why it's coming at this time, and your innovative ideas are wanted here, which could be a little challenging for Virgos because Virgos could be set in their ways and their routine and their habits, right? And this is going to be asking you to step outside of your comfort zone and to make some uncomfortable decisions on what to keep, what to leave behind, and how do you want to proceed with organizing this team's work and moving forward. And I don't necessarily mean that you are the organizer, but you are going to have to be an active part of this. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart. It's like, you know, you are an integral part of that project and of that team. And it can make or break your team, actually. So interesting, right? That's the Scorpionic energy for you. And finally, Libra. You have the Hierophant, clarified by Two of Pentacles, and Strength. Interesting. So for you, it's going to be interesting For you, this new moon is giving you opportunity to really connect to your higher power and understand where your quote-unquote religion lies. It doesn't have to be religion, of course, but it's like, what is your belief system about, really? How do you decide how to make decisions, go one way or the other, based on what? Be more conscious and specific, and be courageous to say where maybe you haven't figured it out yet, right? I mean, none of us are perfect. We're all learning, but it's like, where do you have problem connecting the dots, right? Understanding what the whatever spiritual words, religious words actually mean when it comes to applying them practically, right? Or how does it help you not overwhelm yourself and not try to do too many things at once? Libras also tend to try to make everybody happy in a situation, and oftentimes it's just impossible, right? So what does that faith of yours is telling you about it, right? Go back to the scriptures, to the original texts and books and sources, right? There's a lot of wisdom there that sometimes we overlook because we get so much of that spiritual information and like little bits and pieces on social media these days, or even on TV, or even on streaming platforms, that we don't necessarily do our own research, right? And right now it is actually quite important. It will give you the answers that you've been missing. Okay, with all that said, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time.